Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of ICC Fide rated international tournament. Okay, I'm tired of saying this, but this is the last time because it is day 4, the final day of the tournament. And तुमने देखा होगा बड़ा मस्त सेटअप लग रहा है. I'm back in Hogwarts. I'm back with my green screen. I'm back with my snow. I'm back with my setup and back to Delhi. And before going on into what happened in day 4, I would like you all to know what's currently going on. I am in with the score after day 3, which is 6 rounds. I am with the score 4 on 6. After a great start of the tournament, which is 2 out of 4, I went on to lose the 2 games in day 2, and then on day 3, I won the 2 games again. So everything is coming back to normal. I have a good chance of winning the tournament if I get 6 out of 8. There's a lot of people, so 5.5 is very, very dicey. So I cannot afford to lose or draw any games. I have to win back to back in order to win. And in this game, okay, this is some random position. I'll delete all this. Yeah. So in this game, I was faced against a 1400 rated player, and which was the story for most of the games in this tournament. And I was feeling a bit confident coming into the day, winning 2 games back to back. And I was feeling a bit confident, but I was not really overconfident because I knew that this is a tough tournament and I'm going to face a tough opponent. And well, we jump into the game. I was playing with the black pieces and I played, and my opponent played e4. He was a kid, I think around 11 years, maybe 11 or 12 years of age. He was wearing glasses. He was looking super serious. He was like, ऐसे बैठा हुआ था मस्त, and he was fully focused and he played e4 and I was happy. I played c5. I blitzed out the move and he played the move knight f3. I played d6, of course. Now अब तक तुम्हें पता लग गया होगा, this is my pet line with the Sicilian. He took on d5, d4 and I put my knight on f6 attacking the c4 pawn. And by the way, अब मैं engine पूरे time के लिए on कर सकता हूँ. There's going to be no lag, no delays because I'm back with my setup, my streaming setup. Anyway, so knight c3, a6, again we go into my pet knight offline. And just look at how I get the position in this one, because I love the position even if I don't. Okay, I won't give any spoilers. Let's just jump into the game. So he plays f3, which is pretty standard. I think this is called the Yugoslav. थोड़ा ना यहाँ पे चोट है, so I'm not able to talk. But okay, I play e5. I hit in the center. I hit the knight. The knight has to move back. Usually there is one additional square for the knight to go on f3, but since he plays f3, he has to go to b3 because knight e2. What is the knight even doing there? Blocking the bishop. So he goes knight b3, which is what I expected. I play bishop e6, simply stopping bishop c4 and getting control of this strong d5 square. And I'm so happy that I can make arrows now properly, man. मज़ा आ रहा है arrow बनाते हुए यार. नहीं तो वो track pad में ना इतनी बीटी होती रही arrow बनाने में. Anyways, so he plays bishop g5, which was, I think, one of the moves in this position. And I didn't mind. I played knight d7. Usually you don't play bishop e7 because if you play bishop e7, he takes and puts his knight on d5, and I have to give one of the bishops, because if I move, I can move the bishop here, I guess, in that position, but still his knight sits on the center, which is not really great. So you play knight d7 first, because simply saying that if you take on f6, I take on f6 back, controlling the d5 square, and next move I'm going to play bishop e7, castles, put my rook on c8, and the position is pleasant. See, you have to know कि in positions में d5 square weak होता है तुम्हारा, but you get the c file for counterplay, and you get the rooks on c5, you get easily castled out, and you have this strong light square dark square bishop which defends d6 strongly, and till the time you have good control of d5, you're not in big trouble because you can eventually push d5 successfully. So he plays queen d2 with the idea of long castling. I play bishop e7. About this time I was thinking of some sacrifices in e4 if he castles, simply because of the fact that there would be, okay, whenever you're playing the Sicilian, you have to be aware of this tactic. It's a common tactic where this bishop becomes a strong piece because these light squares are weak for white. तो क्या होता है कि जब वो queen side castle कर लेता तो you get the square and somehow you get you can skewer or pin the queen and win the queen, right? So there are some tactics around. I was not concretely calculating it because it was not working, but still these things were upon the line, so I was just constantly aware of it. He took on f6 and I was so happy here, and I was, for a minute I was in a dilemma कि क्या करूँ यार, नाइट से मारूँ या बिशप से मारूँ. So one hope chess idea which I was thinking कि बिशप से मारते हैं और अगर कासल कर लेगा तो ये लगा देंगे. So that was a kind of a hope chess thought process कि भाई अगर वो कासल करता है तो it's going to be good for me. Otherwise, if he doesn't castle, if he sees this and plays, let's say, bishop e2 and tries to castle this way, then my bishop is actually a little bit dumb here. I'm not controlling d5 square, which is what my main aim is. And if my knight is here, which will be able to control, and I think even if when my knight is here, I will be able to control this tactic with some sacrificing ideas of, I was thinking along these lines that let's say knight f6, let's say he castles, I take on e4, knight takes e4, d5, and if knight moves then bishop g5, otherwise I take the knight. I was thinking along these lines, but eventually I did play knight f6, which was, I think, the best move here. Yeah, knight f6 is the best move. I'm glad I didn't go for hope chess. And let's move ahead. So the next move which he played was bishop e2. I think he was kind of scared to go and commit to queenside because I'll launch an attack immediately. But it's named bishop e2 khela, which is natural. There is no other good squares for the bishop. I played b5. I could have castled as well. I could have also played rook c8, but b5 is one of the moves which comes in these kinds of position of knight off. So I played it preemptively just so that I can push b4 whenever I want to. He plays a3, sorry, stopping this idea of b4, and I played rook c8. And I didn't mind going rook c8. I think here I was thinking this something. Yeah, a4. Was it a move? Yeah, it was a move, but it was not that good of a move because I push a b4, right? But yeah, हाँ यहाँ पे I was considering कि कहीं तो castle करेगा, and we'll have to think further. But he played knight c1, which on hindsight immediately I felt कि ये क्या move है. I mean, of course, I was maybe at some point threatening to take this, not maybe immediately, but at some point maybe ruin the structure and play on the ruined structure for the endgame. But he played knight c1, and eventually I kind of got what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to control the d5 square with knight b4. So this actually क्या हुआ कि यहाँ पे I was forced, not forced, but I was forced to take some action कि भाई क्योंकि knight b4 में आ जाएगा ना, then I'll have some troubles playing for this d5 break. So मुझे d5 उससे पहले चलना था. तो first of all I played queen c7, just putting some pressure on c2 with the idea कि knight d3 चलेगा तो हम d5 चल देंगे. He went knight d3, which is the most natural idea, and here I played d5. I'm not sure if it was the correct move. It was the correct move. The castling is, yeah, d5 is the best move here, and I played d5 with the idea कि भाई हाँ अब नहीं करूँगा तो knight b4 आ जाएगा, and d5 चलना will be a little bit tough because already 3 defenders would be there for d5. So I played d5, he took, I took with the knight, he took with the knight, and I took with the bishop. I hope I didn't miss anything here. Yeah, I took with the bishop, and there are no good discoveries for the bishop. I saw that, and also the fact that c2 is hanging is kind of, things are going superbly in favor of me. अब तुम देखो Sicilian खेली है मैंने. I have the bishop pair, I have an open position, my king is ready to castle, and my bishops are coming into such good squares, and I have an open file, and c2 pawn is attacked. There is so much pressure in the position. I love it. This is one of the best case scenarios for the Sicilian players because you're getting all your pieces out, your king is safe, and there is no attack for white, and you just got a lot of compensation and attack for nothing. So I was really happy here. He played c3 defending the c2 square, and I played bishop h4. Bishop h4 on hindsight is engine देख के it seems like it's not a great move, but मेरा idea ये था simply कि just provoke g3 and come back because कुछ हो नहीं रहा position में. I can castle anytime. I just want to make sure that he castles this way because I was already thinking कि अगर इस side castle मारेगा there might be some sacrifices, some attack already. So I wanted him to castle this way. In order to provoke him to castle this way, I wanted to provoke some weaknesses on the king side, and that's why I played bishop h4. He played g3, I came back, and he played rook f1 with the idea that you want to unpin this pawn, and yeah, after rook f1 I was pretty sure that he was gonna castle queenside now, and I simply castled here, which was I think the best move, one of the best moves. I castled with the idea कि ये रुक लेके आते हैं d8, and अगर castle करेगा तो there might be some ferocious attacks with all these pawn, bishop sacrifices and queen and rook, everything into play. This was just so pleasant. I knew that this was gonna, I felt like this game was gonna end very soon. उसने किया queen side castle, मैंने bishop b3 चला, simply because I want to kick this rook from the square, which was one of the best moves. Just taking validation if actually it was right or wrong. He played rook e1 and यहाँ पे मैंने चला rook d8, perfectly coordinating सारे pieces आगे game में. You have to make sure in these positions कि तुम्हारे सारे pieces play में है before doing anything crazy. राइट तो धीरे धीरे रुक d8 सारे पीस आ गए, बिशप रेडी है, ये वाला बिशप रेडी है, क्वीन रेडी है पिन करते हुए, रुक भी आ गया है. एंड माई सिंपल थ्रेट राइट नाउ इज़ दैट, आई मीन ऑफ कोर्स दिस नाइट कैन नॉट मूव एंड आई कैन मे बी थ्रेटन सर्टन थिंग्स. एंड मेरा थ्रेट था यहाँ पे, क्या था एक्चुअली थ्रेट, मे बी सम थ्रेट्स लाइक दिस, एंड द फैक्ट दैट हिज नाइट कैन नॉट मूव इज़ ऑलवेज हेल्पफुल इन द फ्यूचर. Right, so he played queen e3 and यहाँ पे I was up a lot of time because he was thinking so far, and यहाँ पे I went into a 40-minute think tank thinking out what I should do, and I proceed out, unfortunately. So basically there were these lines with bishop h3, gh3, queen h3, this and this. This of course I saw the happy case कि भाई तुम्हारा wait कि बिशप h3 अगर मारेगा तो दिस इज़ विनिंग, बट आई थॉट बिशप h3 एंड व्हाट अबाउट क्वीन e5, एंड worst come worst I should have considered that okay, takes and just bringing my bishop back is at least winning up a pawn. I should have considered something like this, but even here queen e5, I had queen a5 with lots of terrible ideas looming up, but long story short I could not figure out the concrete variations and I played queen a5. Actually queen a5 I played in within 10 minutes. The next move after king g1 is where I thought a lot of lines. यहाँ पे I went into a big think. I was calculating so many variations. I was looking at rook c3, bc3, queen c3, rook f1, bishop h2, sacrifice, king h2, bishop h3, king g1, and maybe some rook e5 or sorry, not this, queen b3, king h3, and some rook e5. You know, trying to threaten mate and something, but he had queen e5 here, giving up all the material, and it was a mess over the board, and this was really not something. I mean, maybe I had a draw here, but he had too many pieces for the queen. So I mean, I was looking for so many variations, even bishop h3 right here, but I mean, for example, bishop h3, I thought knight f1 and I would move my bishop back, and if he takes, the thing was, if I can even take here, but this was more accurate, I guess. I thought rook d1 or something here. I think here this and rook d1. Oh no, this was the queen was hanging, of course. Somewhere I was looking at a line where he was playing rook d1 or something. Here was it? No. Anyways, I mean, there was some lines, knight f1, bishop e6, and here I think rook d1. I forgot the lines. I was analyzing this, but कहीं पे तो था rook d1 आ रहा था, and it was, everything was winning. Okay, every sack was winning. My instinct was actually telling कि यार कर लेते हैं sack, but I kind of pushed it out, and it went on to a bad endgame actually, as you will see. So I did not play this. I played bishop f6, trying to make rook c3 work with the idea of e4 in the end. He played knight here. I played bishop e6. He played rook d1, and I took. He took, and I should have brought back the queen and kind of played this position like that, but I was getting greedy. He played rook d6. Now things were actually getting worse for me a little bit, and I played the blunder queen a4 here, completely oblivious. I mean, I was trying to go for something here, but I completely missed bishop d1 because now I was getting low on time. He played bishop d1. Now he was also playing quick and confident. I've had to play queen a5, and he went into the endgame correctly because he was winning the a6 pawn. मैंने मारा, उसने मारा. I played rook d8, attacking the bishop. He played bishop e3, perfect. I should have played that, but I was scared of trading pieces. But I should have done that because after bishop b2, maybe rook d2 or something was better. Bishop c4, bishop d2. Oh yeah, bishop, of course, bishop g5, just removing the bishop, and if he takes, I have this passer. I mean, I can create a passer even if he takes here. I have this. Oh, I have this, of course. I mean, there are some tactics on the board. I saw this, I forgot because it's been a while. But yeah, this was probably what I should have gone for, but I went for the terrible bishop takes b3, knight takes b3, and here my bishop is hanging, my a6 pawn is hanging, and things are not looking that good. उसने a6 मारा, मैंने d3 किया just to attack this. He went to attack this, I took the f3 pawn, he took on b4, and here I was so low on time. It is inexcusable to play such like this, but you know, it was a change of momentum. Okay, from a completely winning position, I felt like, yaar, I missed the opportunity. So यहाँ पे, what I did, I played a terrible move f5. I was out of my mind. I was saying कि bishop बचा लेते हैं or something, I don't know, and I gave up my e5 pawn, one of my trademarks in the position, terms of my position, and here I completely lost hope because I felt like, bhai, ye to I'm not gonna win. He played rook e4. I was still trying though. He played a5. I played this. He started pushing h pawn. He could have started pushing the h pawn a long time back. Even here, he could have just started pushing it, and I couldn't have stopped it. He did this, and I played rook f3, h4. I took. He came here. I played rook e6, simply threatening to come back. I came back, and he played knight c5. I took on h5 as well. And now, if you look at this position, I mean, I couldn't see an immediate win. As such, it was winning because the pawn was so close to queening, and here he played this, but I was at least okay, ठीक है, material तो मिल गया. Now I can also push my pawns. Okay, इसने चला rook, इसने b4 चला with the ideas, and now I was like, क्योंकि I had some plans. Okay, bishop a4 का plans थे. If you push this, then okay, I can take, and if you do something like this, then I have bishop c7 stopping this. ये मेरा plan था when I took on h4, but he went b4, which is actually a good move. No, it's not a good move. I thought it was just trying to push the pawns together, which is nice, also defending the knight. But I played bishop c7. I was scared of this pawn, I don't know, and also I was low on time, but bishop c7 was not accurate. क्योंकि simply push करना था apparently. But I played bishop f7, bishop f2. He played this, and he gave this check, and this guy was like, oof, I made a mistake. He reacted like this, okay, and I had already like playing on seconds, and I was looking at, okay, what's the blunder? Apparently he was setting a trap ki if I take the knight, rook takes rook, and then bishop takes rook, seemingly winning a piece, but he has a7 and I cannot stop it. Oh, so that was the plan with b4. Oh, he was calculating long, man. That was a deep calculation. So anyways, he did this, and I knew I cannot take the bishop. This was pretty straightforward that a7 is winning, but I took the rook. He took with the knight, and I played bishop a7 because he was simply threatening knight c5 again. He pushed this pawn, and here I was thinking some variations where I could maybe queen with the same time. I knew it was all lost, but I still played f4. And I'm taking too long this game, I think, but I played f4, but it's a worthy game. It's a really interesting game. He pushed b3, b6, and here I was thinking for a while if I could take, but I could not take because bishop takes b3. He had knight b3, f3, and he won't push a7. He would go for, I think a7 is a draw, but he would have gone for something like this, because if I push f2, then he has knight e3, basically catching up with the pawn, and I would be lost. So I correctly pushed f3. I think this is the variation here. Yeah, this is just lost, right? So this I saw. So I pushed f3 correctly. He took. I pushed f2, and he queened. I queened, and here I kept giving checks, a lot of checks, and I was hoping that he would take a draw. But he was bold, man. For a kid, he was really bold. He was offering draw, by the way, in the middle games. But he was like playing this out, and I knew this was lost. Knight b6, because the point is I can never take on d7 or the knight, because every time I'll be given a check and the queens will be traded, and whenever the queens are traded, the a pawn is just too fast and he'll make a queen again. But he went knight b2. I went here, and here this was the winning variation basically, which I'm showing because he's going in. But around here he offered a draw, and because I think apparently after knight b3 he saw that I could give a check and I would keep giving checks or something, and I won't be letting him escape. But he was completely wrong in the evaluation. This is completely winning. because even if I give this check, he comes here. I think if I turn off the engine, if I give this check, I think he comes here, and he just basically slides down, and now it's not a threat because the knight queen is defended. So now he can just, I don't know, he can go anywhere and something like this, and whatever check you give, I mean, you understand the point. Now the king is too close to, I think it is winning, right? Yeah, let's say if you give this, and yeah, something like this, and now it's over because I take and come back. Anyways, that was the game. It was a terrible game, and I had such a good position out of the opening, successful Sicilian knight off, but I messed up. I pussied out a little bit. I mean, not pussied out, I could not find a concrete win. Shows a weakness in my calculations after even having a lot of time. But yeah, I think sometimes I should go with my instincts and just attack. But yeah, that was the game. I took a draw, and I was not feeling really great because I really felt like I missed an opportunity. But that was it. I was still okay, 4.5 out of 7, not a great score, but I was hoping to win the next game and at least have the slim chance of winning the the tournament. But moreover, I was feeling bad that I was losing more rating points because I was drawing against a lower rated opponent, and I was hoping I would get a rated opponent next one so that I could gain or recover some rating points at least. So with that note, let's go to the last game of the tournament and let's see what happens, because this is the conclusion. The final game will be a little bit quick because I think we have already taken 20 minutes of your time. So the game started with c4. He played knight f6. This is a beautiful game, by the way. Knight f3, g6, knight c3, bishop e7, and this shows a little bit as to how, if you misplay the opening, I mean the English opening a little bit, you can get totally cooked out of the opening. I played e4 simply because he's allowing me to, and taking control of this because he hasn't played d5 yet. He's playing some passive, and he had to play e5, and yeah, this was actually a line in which he had to do this and castle and maybe give up this pawn. I had seen this line before, but he did not do this because it's actually tough to spot, and he played d6, and this transposed into a modern kind of a defense with e4. If you kind of look at it that way, e4, d6, that kind of a position, it transposed into that, and I was very happy I got this because these kind of positions are very, very pleasant for white. He castled, I played bishop e2, he pushed this c5, I pushed d5, he pushed bishop d7. He was also a young kid, by the way. He was playing very confidently and quickly, and he had taken a lot of draws actually this tournament. 1600 se draw leke aa raha tha banda. But yeah, he did this. I played a4, correctly stopping his plays. This game was all about prophylaxis and basically countering the opponent's ideas, because if you look at this position, the सारे pieces kind of crammed हैं. Bishop d7 was a terrible move because knight नहीं निकल रहा अब, and knight अब निकलेगा भी कहाँ, है ना? Knight फंसा हुआ है, rook फंसा हुआ है, queen is also stuck, not doing anything, rook is stuck. There is only one break in the position, which also I won't be entertaining. So there was like a lot of issues in the bishop is probably the only piece which is good in this position. And I played bishop f4. He played a5 with the idea of he's gonna bring his knight here, but I was like, bring your knight here, man, I don't care, मुझे फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. I played queen d2 with the aim of removing his only good piece, and oh, sorry for that. I played bishop f4, queen d2, knight a6, bishop e6, knight b4. He was very happy कि वो मेरा knight बाहर आ गया, but I was like, okay, रख ले यार, है ना, क्या कर लेगा knight रख के. The knight is literally doing nothing, right? I took the bishop, he took with the king, I castled. Okay, let me switch the engine off. He played b6, I don't know why, b6 maybe, I don't know. I mean, basically just because nothing else is moving, right? I mean, the bishop, look at the bishop is such a bad piece here, the knight is such a bad piece here, can't go anywhere. This knight is also not doing anything. These rooks are basically sitting in their own file, not able to take any open files. So everything was fine, and I had so much time in this position. Aram se knight h2 khela, basically with the idea of f4, rook b8, f4, bishop c8. So I realized कि ऐसी draw लेता है, attack वटाक करके perpetual ले रहा होगा. I played rook a3 and I scared him to sack. Basically I was trying to swing my rook this way, and it was not an accurate move, but it was a good move. He played queen c7 back. I played bishop d1 with the idea कि eventually e5 knight वगैरह rook वगैरह आएगा तो ये pawn पिटना नहीं चाहिए, तो bishop वहाँ पे कर भी क्या रहा है तो पीछे ले आता है. He played queen c8, and also the fact was कि I was playing quickly, reducing his time, and I had so much space and time over the board वाला time, tempo वाला time कि I can do anything. All his pieces he could do nothing. He was paralyzed. See वो queen c7 queen c8 चले जा रहा है. यहाँ पे I played e5 because I felt the time was right, which was right actually. Good move. So e5, he went knight e8. I went knight e4, bishop f5. I anticipated this. Knight g3 hitting the bishop, and I was really happy to go with the bishop. यहाँ पे कुछ moves में I was not here, but around here I was pondering to go g4 as well. But I restricted myself कि यार थोड़ा safe खेलते हैं और pieces लाते हैं फिर करते हैं. Basically that attacking instinct is still, I think, lacking a little bit. The confidence, or maybe the the confidence, or maybe the calculation to go for an attack, to go for all out g4 jana ya sacrifice karna, that is maybe a little bit lacking. But okay, I went knight g3, which is not bad. I played rook e3, which was a little bit bad because maybe the rook belongs on f3 and trying to push f4 f5. But I played rook e3 with the idea कि e7 पे कभी pressure आएगा, और okay, I can also play e6 and this pawn wouldn't be hanging. Some ideas like that, but then I played he played king g8, and I brought the worst piece on my board, which is the h2 knight, which is not doing anything, and tried to trade it. He took because his bishop was bad, but I didn't know if it was a good trade because my bishop came in attacking his queen, and I played e5, e6. E6 was a little bit inaccurate because of the next move f5. I kind of underestimated this, and here I felt like maybe मैंने कुछ गलत कर दिया है कि e6 नहीं चलना था. e6 briefly आया, but e6 नहीं चलना था, f5 चलना था. यार f5 मुझे डर लग रहा था e5 का यार, इसलिए नहीं चला. What's the idea? Basically saying slowly कुछ करना है. मेरा idea तो करना था, but ठीक है. He went for f5, and here I felt कि थोड़ी बीटी हो रही है because इसका knight बाहर आ गया है, and I don't know what to do. I was trying to push h4, trying to break open the center, and he play h5. And यहाँ मुझे समझ नहीं आया भाई क्या करूँ, क्योंकि ना इस what is the पूरा evaluation here? Yeah, it's 1.9. यहाँ पे मैंने बहुत सोच के I don't know what to do, and the position is, I mean, the thing is that my pieces are also getting blocked now. I could have gone something slow like this, but he would have just played king g7. So this time I was like, यार अब pussy out नहीं करना, and I took on h5, which was the best move, as you saw a little bit before in the engine. Bishop h5, but I did not have the right idea at all. He took, and यहाँ पे मेरा idea था कि queen d1 चल के ऐसे मार देंगे, क्योंकि ये defend ही नहीं हो रहा. king h7 पे चलेगा तो मार दूंगा. But I did see knight g4, बट यहाँ पे मैंने सोचा कि दूर लेके चले जाऊँगा, rook a3 कहीं ले जाऊँगा और नेक्स्ट मूव में मार दूँगा इसे, क्योंकि अभी भी डिफेंड नहीं हो रहा. बट अपेरेंटली हियर ही हैड अ गुड मूव. आई थॉट आफ्टर rook a3 king h7, एंड अपेरेंटली दिस इज़ गुड फॉर हिम. बट दिस आई मिस इवेल्यूएटेड कि ये मेरे लिए भी ठीक है. आई थॉट दिस इज़ ओके फॉर मी, क्योंकि थोड़ा बहुत मे भी अटैक आएगा, वापस जाके मार देंगे. बट द थिंग इज़ कि f5 वीक नहीं है, मैं पीस डाउन हूँ बेसिकली. हाँ, पीस डाउन हो ना, तो f5 वीक भी नहीं है. अब पॉइंट ये है कि किंग h7 चलेगा, मैं मारूंगा, रुक g8 चलेगा ना, मैं वापस जाऊंगा इसको मारते हुए, तो he'll bring rook f8, and this is fine for him. ठीक है, तो I played bishop h5 with the wrong idea, but I did take here because rook f6 was inaccurate. यहाँ पे भी rook g6 चलना था उसे, and I was thinking rook g6 पे क्या करूँगा यार, दूसरा रुक आ जाएगा डिफेंड करने के लिए f5. बट इवन rook h6, and I was so happy क्योंकि यहाँ पे ये डिफेंड नहीं हो रहा अब f5, क्योंकि अगर rook f6 भी चलेगा ना तो मैं मार दूंगा. And I have queen g4. So here he went knight f6, I took. He went rook h4, I went g4 here. Oh, he could have taken, but okay, he went rook h8, I went g5, and here he went this, and I went knight h6. I saw knight h6, I didn't see queen g4. I mean queen g4, everything was winning now because my pawns are getting pushed. I went knight h6 with the idea कि ये knight पिटेगा या तो रुक देना पड़ेगा. Knight h6, he moved his king. I took the knight. He went rook f8. अब तो मेरा पीस भी वापस आ गया है. I played f5. He played knight c2 with the idea कि मारते हैं या रुक नाइट बीच में बिठाते हैं, and he missed this mate in one. And with that, I won this game. It was a really good game. I felt good because the whole game I was just maneuvering my pieces, putting his pieces crammed, keeping his pieces crammed, and I felt good about it. अच्छा लगा, but I was also not really happy with the way I converted this because I allowed some kind of a defense with h5 for him, but nevertheless it was a good game. I won that, and from this the tournament ended. I finished on 5.5 out of 8, and the surprise, not the surprise, but the result is basically I won the tournament. I would have shown the result basically, but I don't have it in my screen. I mean, मैंने setup नहीं किया. I forgot about it. But trust me on my word, I won the prize. I won 2,000 rupees in my category of 1400 to 1600, and I bagged, I think, the 13th position in my category, and I was lucky to get that because I had terrible book holes, and it was not a great tournament, but at least it was some motivation कि I won the prize. थोड़ा अच्छा लगता है, prize मिलता है तो motivation मिलती है for go to go again. So overall in this tournament I lost 3 rating points, which is okay considering the way I was playing and I was losing games by flagging and everything. So considering that, अच्छा recover किया, and I think I am feeling a little bit okay and better for the next tournament, which is Kingdom Rajasthan Udaipur. So that is probably going to be the major tournament, one of my major tournaments, one of the last major tournaments of October and maybe even November, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think I'm all geared up. Still a lot of preparation, still a lot of things to do. Brought a lot of books from there. I'm going to keep it in my house, in the Anches club, and जो भी club आएगा वहाँ पे आके तुम पढ़ सकते हो. I'll be keeping it on the shelf. ठीक है, वहाँ पे आके जिसको भी बुक पढ़नी, आई थिंक आई bought some Grandmaster series, I've bought some end game books, around 8-9 books I've bought. So club members सब आके वहाँ पे they can read and they can also gain some knowledge out of it. So yeah, good tournament. I'm really happy with the way things went, and I ended on a positive note. So yeah, learnings from it. Learning मैं कहूँगा कि I think I need to work a little bit on my speeches and my end games and my game techniques and conversions, but otherwise I think I'm playing decently well, and I need to play moves a little bit more confidently and more with a little bit more confidence. Yeah, and I think overall I think it's all good. With that note, I sign off, and the ICC Fide rated chess tournament is concluded, and this is one of the tournaments me and Nimank are going to cover for this grind, this road to Fide master grind, and this is going to be first of the many video collections, and I hope we eventually get there and we get the chess title, if not Fide master, any basic chess title. And on that note, on that high note, I say goodbye to you, good evening, and take care, and please come to the club. Please come to Anches and support Anches. It's a lot of fun. Even now while I'm recording, Rahul Bhaiya and a couple of people are playing downstairs some serious 30+30 chess games. So yeah, whenever you feel free, do come to the club and enjoy chess, man. Bye bye, see you, take care.